is just fantastic.
Captain's Log, subdate 21220.5. As the sentient crumble appears to be creating a society, Subfleet have sent a team of Makos, just in case a genocide needs to happen. So Ricky Berwick, aka YouTube's actual comedy shorts gamer, it's not Deji. He stopped being funny the last time JJ slapped him, and when he started sub-botting. Ricky Berwick is a very entertaining, very funny, insult-styled comedian type who has a very successful YouTube channel and is very active on social media. He's one of those very active social media users I've seen pop up on Twitter accounts who have virtually no followers, where he will respond rather than tweeting, but with a short, and very funny clip. He does very good self-deprecating comedy, where he will use the most abrasive language possible to describe himself and others. More recently, he's come up with merch, very retro-style merch, and I'm going to link that merch as the pinned comment down below. I highly recommend you all cop some. The font used is identical to that of the font for PlayStation long ago. This is the merch. That red squiggle going through it is not on it. I've left it off because YouTube don't like this word. I don't know why. Believe it or not, it's actually a word I use quite frequently in my own life away from the computer, because things are usually this. In fact, I can say the word in a certain context. Shall we now have a 5 to 10 minute discussion on the process of retardation? Now, there are two ways you can take that. One would be, okay, the first two syllables, I get it now. The other would be what I have received in the past, along with walls of text from those who couldn't take the fact that some people like to use a two-syllable word because it diminishes an entire community. Oh, whoa, I'm offended. Unsubscribed from Patreon. Okay. People like that are akin to those who can't take criticism, which is handily where Ricky Berwick now sits, because he can take criticism, and he can dole it out, which makes him a rather unique individual. He's very polarizing, I will also say, in the sense that people either do like him because he's funny and can take criticism, or they don't like him because of his style of comedy and the fact he will dish it back, which I find to be, well, delicious, quite frankly. So with this in mind, i.e. his merch and the fact he can dole out and take criticism, we should now get to a video of a Twitch streamer who essentially wants to cancel Ricky Berwick. But best of luck.
I don't take responsibility for anyone but my cat. So you don't take responsibility for all the people that follow you who are totally healthy, that sit there and call people who like people who I work with the R word. You don't care about that at all. But you want to sit there and say, oh, I'm making content for people so they can laugh.
Ricky, were you in her chat trolling for lols? Or did you do this on Twitter and she saw it live on her channel?
I'm making content for people so they can have an escape. What happens to the people that don't know you, that don't have an escape, that your followers go after and call the R word?
What an incredibly thought-provoking question. How does one control their audience so their audience does not go and use a word on someone knowing it will get a response from that person who is so easily offended, or an emotive reactionary type who can't handle a 6-letter, 2-syllable word? As I'm a free speech absolutist, I take no issue with people calling each other names, and I'm quite fond of criticism of any kind, even if it is profanity-based.
What happens to them? What happens? Really, Ricky, I'm asking you as a human being, what the happens to those people?
I'm only putting this in because the next part is incredibly funny.
You're a sick human being, and you have way more going on than just your physical disabilities. I hope you get help. Seriously, I really do. I really hope you get help. because you don't care about anybody in any community besides yourself, your fucking pockets, and what's gonna make you money. You're pathetic. Disgusting.
I like this idea that somehow Ricky Berwick is supposed to be the avatar of the disabled community, and because of his successes, he must now be their role model and or champion. Also, I want to draw attention to the fact that you think earning money is inherently wrong. Okay, well, you're a Twitch streamer. Your entire existence is to make money.
Because I would love to have a big content creator with a disability that can make content and make it meaningful and have those people in that community be able to relate. But I don't want them to be able to relate by allowing people to demean them. That's not cool. That's not cool at all.
I'm going to end part 1 there of that video because there are 2. So now this streamer would very much like it for Ricky Berwick to take a stand, be the role model that she believes he can be, because she did like him for a minute. I didn't even realize there was a community beyond that of YouTubers as an overarching community. This idea we need to now separate ourselves and stand up for each other, you know, brothers in arms and all that. Where's mine, by the way? Am I a community? Am I commentary? But Ricky, apparently because of his physical disabilities, is a part of the disability community and not just a comedian on YouTube and Twitter. Also, it's a bit weird hearing someone say, I would have really liked for him to be the representative for the disabled community, as if she wanted a role model for them. It seemed a bit virtuous. I don't get it. So now we should go to part 2. Oh boy.
I work with individuals who literally fight day in and day out, go to the courts, go to the mayors, go to whoever the fuck they need to make sure that we don't normalize saying the word, to make sure that people know it's not okay, to make sure that they know that there are individuals out there who consider it a slur. And then I'm the bad guy for saying that there's content out there that normalizes saying the word. I'm the bad guy for bringing it to everyone's attention that, hey, we shouldn't be saying this word, no matter what.
The window of what is and is not acceptable language to use over the better part of 3 decades has reduced. Make a window with your thumb and index finger and shrink that window. All the words that are acceptable are inside that window, and the window is getting smaller. The R word, as you call it, because you got so triggered by a shirt, is just a word. There are words you wouldn't believe that could be used that actually have a context elsewhere, that are still used regularly. But I'm sure if I said, I'm going to have some for dinner, and was in fact referring to Mr. Brain's you'd still find a reason to be offended because of the word, and how it can be used as a slur in another context. The word retard can refer to mentally handicapped people, yes, but it also has other meanings. But you want censorship. You want to virtue signal to protect feelings of other people that don't even know you, because I guess all that's left now is to say, this is Ricky Berwick's response.
You know how I have this following? By not being a goddamn victim. Good night, man. I'll talk to you later. Or never. Yep.
It's also worth noting with Ricky's response to this, because he was accused of harassing her in a chat but no one could prove it, many creators did come out in support of Ricky by calling him retard because he gave them permission to do so, while also admitting the following.
You know what, Ricky? I like to think I'm definitely one of your followers, but I also like to think I'm one of your biggest fans. I'm certainly your fattest fan, but that said, I did not buy the Retard Station shirt because I wouldn't be comfortable wearing that shirt. And I know, absolutely, because we've been friends for a while, I can call you a retard all I want, but that gives me no delusion that I could walk up to some special needs kid or some guy in a wheelchair in the mall and call him that word. I'm not going to do that. I absolutely would not do that. I think this woman is baselessly wrong. You're not giving anybody permission to call somebody else that. You're giving me permission to call you that. And I will. I love you, you f***ing retard.
This is a position, Boogies that is, that I 100% agree with. Although when I do get paid, I'm going to buy one of those shirts. Because where I live, people don't care. They really don't care. And also I really like the font, okay? Anyway, with what has happened, I'd very much like to know what you all think. So please do let me know in the comments down below. As a final thing, I'm going to be streaming on Twitch tonight for some murder fun time, yes. If I don't see you there, have a fantastic Sunday, and thank you all for listening.